Hey everybody, welcome to the Double Stuff Podcast. We're double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun. And I'm Sarah.
I'm Charity, and we have a special guest,
Christy!
You almost missed your cue.
Nope. Right on time.
If you guys remember last year, we had Christy as a guest.
Keep the Christmas traditions going.
Yeah, so
All
we figured...
2 years of them.
Yeah. So, usually this time of year, because we're now in the Christmas season, something non-Christmas. I know it seems kind of contradicting, but I was curious of what kind of events happen in December that really has nothing to do with Christmas, and surprisingly there were a good number of them. Some of them are really random. Well, I guess they're all random, but there's some things that, we might be able to talk about. So, let's go ahead and have the guest of honor. Christy, you want to go ahead and talk about one of the holidays?
You mean National Eat a Red Apple Day?
Yes, that very one.
Why is that in December?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess the color red is
guess red
Christmas-y.
and green, you have red and green apples to go with the rest of the ambiance.
Well, that means that there is a green apple day.
Maybe that's St. Patty's Apple Day.
Ah.
The apple tastes like a 4-leaf clover.
The leaves have 4.
Ooh, I wonder if something like that exists. Because there's so many different types of apples, there might be.
As the adage goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple is both delicious and nutritious, with over 7,500 varieties of apples and over 7.5% of the world's production coming from the USA. Both red and green apples have healthy benefits. Green beats red slightly in fiber content. They also have less sugar and carbohydrates. However, red apples tend to taste better eaten fresh. They're already naturally sweet and don't require added sugar. The red apple slightly edges out the green in antioxidants as well.
You know what I don't like about certain red apples is
They're mushy?
Yeah, well, the big mushy ones and the dye comes off.
The dye. Well, that means that...
Or it's like the...
It's a green apple.
Alice in Wonderland, we're painting the roses red, like that.
Oh, okay.
You eat it and the white flesh of the apple starts turning pink and you're like, what's this?
Well, I thought part of it is...
modern agriculture, folks.
Oops. That's a different
That's a whole other one, y'all.
Well, that, but...
Continue.
But don't they, put some of that wax on the apple, too, right? Is that...
Yeah, but the wax is just a clear coating. I'm talking about when you eat and your apple turns from white to pink. Y'all ain't seen that?
I've never had the full apple turn pink. I've seen some of the edge look
that's what I'm saying. But the more you eat the apple, the more you slobber on it, it's going to turn pink.
Which that's why I don't even do I just invest and get a nice Honey Crisp.
Like a pink lady.
Oh,
because it's already pink.
Yes.
I will say the only time that I enjoy eating apples is when I'm actually eating them. Because in general, if I'm at the store, I'm like, I ain't getting no apples. I don't like apple pie that much. I don't really want apple anything. And then finally I'm like, oh, I should be healthy. Let me eat an apple. And then while I'm eating the apple, I'm like, oh, this is great. As soon as the apple's done, I'm like, oh, I hate apples.
I'm not going to eat another one. If it's there, I'll eat it. If not, I won't.
If the apple a year keeps the doctor afeared.
Yeah, I was going to say, what?
I only eat apple maybe once, maybe twice a year. That's about it.
Do you cook a lot with apples, Chris, when you're making meals at the restaurant?
Nope.
Well, you like apples. You like apples.
I like apples, but I don't like cooked apples. I don't mind apple pie, but even with apple pie, I'd still rather eat the crust.
Well, that's just with pie. People are like, pie is superior to cake. I'm no, crust.
The crust.
Yeah. If we
can get a amount of lard in there, forget the apple.
We can get rid of the fruit filling. Get rid of the only healthy content.
I just need a small glaze of a little apple filling on top of the crust, and then that's it. That's why I like Danishes and stuff. You just have a little...
Yeah, the flaky. Yeah.
So that's basically like a Pop-Tart, right? That's like a Pop-Tart.
No, pie is better than Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts are sad. Pop-Tarts are cardboard and hardly any frosting and a box of sadness.
Oh, a box of sadness. Well, speaking of...
and Pop-Tarts are sponsored for this episode.
Okay, you want to go next year?
All right, folks, mark your calendars because December 7th is National Slime Day.
Yay!
Nickelodeon Day!
Yay! Happy Nickelodeon Day for all the millennials that are aware of the green slime from back in the 90s and early 2000s. So slime is both a solid and liquid, considered to be a non-Newtonian fluid. Oh, very fancy. So meaning the polymers in slime change depending on pressure. In other words, slime feels like a liquid until you begin to move it. Then it turns to a soft solid. First time being celebrated in 2023. So this is a very new holiday.
It is.
And I'm sure, Chris, you can't obviously see us right now, but Christy was referencing if maybe in second grade, if everyone did that cornstarch slime in elementary school, where you learn about the liquid and the solid, and then everybody just starts slapping the slime.
Smack that slime. Or if you put it in, you just put your hand in, it goes, ooh.
Yeah.
It just
slowly sinks in. I don't know if you guys have watched America's Test Kitchen on PBS, the Create channel. So they were talking about this very thing, except when they did it, there was a whole vat of slime, and they had a guy running in place on top of it. And to show that, it sort of becomes a solid. And then they're like, okay, Joe, stop running. And then he slowly sinks. I'm like, I would hate to be Joe, slowly sinking in this huge vat of homemade slime. What would you do if Slime Day was like a national holiday? Like, there's no songs
Wear
for
your
it.
poncho. Don't go out uncovered.
It's like
slimy tree, slimy tree. Like, you need to put up a tree,
a slime
sing some
tree,
carols, make some homemade slime cookies, which sounds like boogers, actually. I guess that's kind of gross.
So that was your old molasses cake going to cookie.
You don't have to tell the world about the molasses cake. We will leave that story back in our childhood.
I think anything slime. And I was also thinking about there's a show we used to watch called Popular Mechanics for Kids. I'm assuming it's based off of Popular Mechanics, the magazine. That's where I first heard the term non-Newtonian fluid, because I was like, wow, that sounds very sciencey, But I think that's where I first heard about like the aspect of versus just Nickelodeon slime on the face.
Slime has sort of come back into popularity. Like there are YouTube and some TikTok videos that kids will watch, and it's just someone making slime or playing with it or having some sort of glittery slime. Slime has
pretty much all the millennial parents that went back to their childhood for their own kids now have revamped the love
Here,
of slime.
Junior, watch this video about slime and you can love it just as much as I did.
Well, apparently, funny enough, when I was looking up some of that, I came across something that you're dealing with different textures and people, are affected by touch and all that. Apparently, it's supposed to help with cognitive skills, which is kind of interesting. I guess it's supposed to help you be aware of surroundings, help you to react to certain stimuli.
It's like the sand. Or like the sand, people are play with that because they say it helps with people's coping mechanisms.
Yeah, it's supposed to help reduce stress.
But see, I would rather play with the kinetic sand than the slime because I feel like the texture and the wetness of it. I don't know. Y'all remember them sticky hands? Now, I don't think that's slime, but we used to get them as prizes from the library, the treasure box at school.
I used to leave that residue on the wall.
Like slime, it was this gummy hand on this long gummy string thing, and you could kind of throw it, and it would stick to the wall, or stick to something, and then you kind of jerk it back. Because I remember at school, guys used to throw them on the ceiling and make them stay. And then like a month later, when the stickiness and the dust collects, it just falls into your desk. It's just like splap.
Yeah, and then you see the outline of the hand.
Where the dust was supposed to be. And then the slimy hand just becomes this little furry, gummy nasty. Anyway, moving on from the gummy nasty. That was December 7th, National Slime Day.
Well, I have one. So December 8th is Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day. Ooh.
Tell me, Doctor, where are we going this time?
We're going to the year 1873.
That's a big follow-up from Slime Day. It happens literally the day after.
Yeah, it is quite a leap. After you're done with slime, let's get in the time capsule. So for this one, it says, time travel has captured our imaginations for generations. Science and authors keep coming back to that topic again and again, so it should be no surprise that we celebrate a day like this. If we did want to go back in time, and if all parameters were perfect, what random time period would you want to go back into, Chair?
I think it would be cool to see the Beatles when they first hit America, to see them walking off the plane, to see them performing on Ed Sullivan, back in 64, I think it would be cool to see that. And then also, if I could just follow their musical journey, because they started off, I wouldn't say clean cut, I guess, but they had like the suits and the longer hair and all that, all the way through all the different albums, so through their like Sgt. Pepper period and the Rubber Soul period, and even the little cartoony things they made, Abbey Road, seeing their hair go long and all of that stuff. Like, I think that would be kind of cool to see. And I know the band itself had various trials and tribulations, but musically, they made some of the best music that is still celebrated today. So I would definitely like to go back and see that.
What about you, Chris? If you were going to go back in time, what era?
I dig the 1940s era, mainly because of like the patriotism, because of World War II and all that. And I feel like that's why I like Captain America so much, because he first originated in like World War II,
punching
like,
Hitler
patriot. In the face. So we like the fashion, that too, and the music, but I really like the camaraderie of like, it was like, that was like the height of like American patriotism. Yeah. Like, everyone stick together, strong, Rosie the Riveter, Yeah. So that's kind of where I would want to be, just like in there.
You'd be part of the USO shows?
No, I'd be Rosie up in there in the,
in
the factories.
Christy be the one building the planes.
That's true, yeah.
And flying them to our boys.
She would be on the poster, yeah.
So I go back to the 60s, Christy go back to the 40s. Sarah, I'm assuming you're going to
go back to 1880s.
Yeah.
Well,
back at the beginning of time.
I'm a big fan of enjoying the entertainment from turn of the century, so like early 1900s, even the 1910s and 1920s, especially the 20s. That was when we kind of hit what we consider the modern age.
So 20s, 40s, and 60s is where we come back.
Looks like we're all.
I do like how
on even decade.
I know it's true. So every 20 years.
I am the most modern of the three of us, it seems.
The thing is, with a lot of things that happened in 1960s, a lot of that harkens back to the 1920s. So,
which technically led up to stuff in the 40s.
Yeah. If we're going to start trying to connect the dots here, we're going to go way back to ancient civilization.
Which back in 1776... But it would have been kind of cool to see the birth of like Tin Pan Alley and jazz, and be cool seeing people doing the Charleston, and that's when a lot of the big books were written, like The Great Gatsby, stuff like that. It'd be just kind of cool just to see that.
The Depression, it was a great era.
Well, that's not until 1929,
yeah,
so I'll say about 1928-ish and earlier.
Okay,
it was a great happening time. So yeah, National Time Traveler Day.
December is National Pear Month. Alas.
Oh, the whole month?
Yes, the whole month.
30 days of celebration.
No, 31.
31 days of celebration.
People just keep singing the Partridge in a Pear Tree so much, they just said, fine, we'll make that
you said pears. I thought you said hair.
No,
pear.
Give me a head with hair.
Long, beautiful hair. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
pears do have some hair, but not as much as peaches.
Yeah, no one says pear fuzz.
Pear fuzz. I guess it's kind of interesting they have apples and pears in the same month, because the texture, it tasted similar to an apple. It had a similar crunch and a similar taste, but I just couldn't.
I think pears are actually a little bit like easier to eat and they're sweeter. Like, I guess not easier to eat in terms of like maybe they're a little more juicy, but like they're softer. So like
the brown pears are.
Because like feel like you're breaking teeth trying to like bite through it,
Yeah, the brown pears are good. I think the green pears are usually kind of hard.
Yeah. And the red pears are salty.
I don't think I've had a red.
I don't think I've had one.
And like, God knows what the names of them are. I don't know.
I know green pear, red pear, brown pear, like
yellow pear.
It's like a beginner's children's book.
Googly pear.
Now, I do know a few summers ago, someone from church gave Daddy like a whole bag full of pears from their trees or whatever, and Daddy made pear preserves.
Oh, his preserve.
Yeah.
Preservative things. Preservatives, yes. Various family members were calling it peach preservatives.
Yeah.
Instead of preserves.
And it was funny because the more I kept hearing her say that, I started saying it.
Yeah, because we started making fun of them and been like, haha, preservatives, and that's great within the four walls of the house, but when you leave and you start going out around normal people talking about
do you have any preservatives?
Yeah, you have any peach preservatives?
And they're like, what are you talking about?
It's anything you buy at Walmart.
Then you gotta explain, well, see, my family, we this joke, and then it's all just stupid.
So now we have pears and apples. All right, you got another one, Cher?
All right, so my last one is celebrated on December 4th. And it's not actually what I thought. So December 4th is National Sock Day. And so I was thinking it was going to be a holiday.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like soccer.
Yeah,
soccer
of course
too.
you did.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was going to be a holiday celebrating like fun socks, like different patterns and, different things like that. However, this specific holiday, it's almost like dating, so this holiday...
you get to reunite the socks that have been mismatched.
Well, this holiday celebrates the socks that have stayed together. So normally when you wash socks, or if you got a gym bag or something, at some point, it's very likely that one of your socks somehow magically ends up missing. However, there are some socks that hold strong, and through trials and tribulations and washers and dryers and laundromats and everything else, they somehow stay together. Let's stay together. Yeah, that's the theme song for these socks, because they stay together. And that is what December 4th is all about. It's all about the mates that stick together.
I'm sure you can make a good sermon out of that.
That'll preach. Yeah, so December 4th. So go hug your socks, but only the ones that have mates. So if you got some single socks that, haven't looked at any sock dating
take a picture,
apps.
put them on the app.
Yeah.
Hope somebody will match to it.
You got any old Spinster socks and it's too late for them.
Spinster socks.
Go hug your matched socks today.
All right, I have one more. I guess this kind of goes with the historical thing, but December 17th is Wright Brothers Day.
Oh, when's the Wrong Brothers Day? Christy's tired of our shenanigans. I'm never coming on this show again.
So this is the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, if you guys do not know who they are.
Randy.
We gotta start that over. How do we explain Orville Redenbacher's commercial? Oh, okay. In case this part does stay in the final edit, there is an Orville Redenbacher's commercial.
It's like the stupid outtakes that they made.
Yeah, this was 2006 or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
It was an old one. And one of the outtakes, the guy was talking about Orville Redenbacher's, but these bees came and started attacking him. And so he said, Orville Reden bees! And as we may have discussed on this show before, our family likes to quote just random stuff. Some things are quotable that everybody knows, but we'll take the most insignificant thing and we're like, you know what? That's the part we want to quote. So we quote a random Orville Redenbacher's commercial that was supposed to be a planned outtake of a guy getting attacked by bees.
And somehow it's stuck.
That's why it's so funny. Even after almost 20 years later, we still find it hilarious. Okay.
So, for you guys who don't know, Orville and Wilbur Wright, they were brothers during the turn of the century, and they were really into flight. They got into it when they were little and kept being obsessed with it up until their adult lives. So, they made the first successful flight on December 17th, 1903, near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And they weren't the first to invent the plane, but they were the one that actually produced the first mechanically propelled plane to be able to actually get it off the ground. So Orville Wright specifically made the first flight. It was for 12 seconds, and he went 128 feet. That's pretty good, considering how far we've come in terms of flight. And I remember the Wright brothers because my introduction to them was on Charlie Brown.
Yay! Voiced by voiced by the guy that played Orson in
Frank,
Garfield and Friends.
Yeah, Frank Welker, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you, Charlie Brown, for teaching us
history when our teachers in school did not.
Let out some string! Let out some more string!
And if you don't get that, go look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown and the Wright brothers.
Why'd you sound like an old...
This is just like a little carny.
Yeah.
Get away from me,
kid.
Get away from me, kid. You bother me.
Old radio show.
I think it's still part of the Red and Bees. Anyway, Well, guys, this was part of our random non-December yet in December holiday observances.
/ traditional sister Christmas episode.
That's one really long title, guys.
Is that the title of this episode?
It is. It's like 2 paragraphs.
To do like size 4 font.
But guys, we've done over 170 episodes.
What?
So
almost 200. That's a great...
Yeah, we're almost hitting the 200 mark, which is amazing. Why don't you be a dear and listen to all of them on doublestuffpod.com. And you can also check us out on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook at Double Stuff Podcast, and of course on Twitter, X, and that's Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.